think you can make 500 subs before the end of the year. Please like and sub. So in part 1, we designed the hull online. Then we sent the files to a laser cutter, which made everything in extreme detail. With all of our parts here, let's begin the assembly with 1 350 scale Battleship Bismarck, part 2 out of 2. Right here, I finished a bunch of the sub-assemblies that I've just painted gray, and I'm going to paint them the brown here for the upper deck. And then since it's all sub-assemblies, assembling this will be very easy because you already have all the parts. You don't have to use cardboard, which is very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, so this is the superstructure. This looks very, very nice. It's like low poly, but none of the details have been added yet, including the rangefinders. Those look very nice. And I'm going to add the windows now because it'd be easier to install the windows right now than to install them later. So I'm just going to use the Sharpie and just put windows all over it. Okay, so I did print out a few additional parts that I didn't do on the first run right here. So that's the back searchlight platform. You have the bases for the rangefinders and that's another part in the back. Then you have the side girder things for the flying bridge as well as under the funnel. And you have this was the break water, also cut out on a sprue right here. So pretty nice. Alright, so the next thing we did was these anti-aircraft radar looking things. Single piece, front and back. And that's pretty much it for the second round of laser cutting. And then now we're going to actually go into construction mode. Alright, so this is the superstructure. I've got that back portion right here. That was what I just laser cut. And then painted some of the more general stuff. Model 80, the 105mm guns are on there. I'm going to install the anti-aircraft guns and the searchlights right here. And this looks very nice. Alright, so right here we have all the small boats that we're now going to attach to the main hull. So right here, grab the super glue and then just put some right there. Come out of the tube with just super glue. Okay, so I got the super glue right there. And then I grab one of the boats. And I just put it on like there, right that. And I'm gonna make put another two right here. One goes more in. Put some more glue on here. And I put the second one on here. It's a total of 8 boats on this build. Here I have the main mast. And that would just go right here. I'll paint it and then I'll put it on. Then I'll do the forward mast and then rig the superstructure. And then the superstructure will finally be complete. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is I'm assembling the lower hull. The first thing I do is I get the 2 plates together and then glue them together with one of the anchor strips. Next, I glue the central propeller shaft to the back, which is that little thing in there. Then I do some shaving along the walls to make sure that they can all fit with the angles because they're a bit wide. They're 5.4mm wide. With the shaving done, I'm able to get the angles very nice to put them on there, so there's not like a large gap. So yeah, I'm doing this mostly on the parts in the back because the parts in the front less so need that. And then you see right here, I'm also sizing the propeller shafts on there, which are the outboard port and starboard propeller shafts. Then following that, I begin to work my way all the way up to the front with the side panels. There, I install the propeller shafts. So yeah, the Bismarck had 3 propellers, which is quite interesting for a design, even though it did have a few design flaws with this. I'm working all the way up to the front, again with the larger panels in the front. The larger panels don't actually need that much filing on the side because the angle isn't as intense as in the back. And then, so that's the last 2 panels in the front. There's a little bit of a gap space for the 2 pieces right there. So I make an additional piece. So first thing I do is I do a little bit of scraping and then I make sure that those 2 pieces align. Then after I'm done with that, with those 2 on, I then use an additional piece of wood that I have on the side and I scrape out a piece that is roughly appropriate for the little nose piece that's needed. Then I just carve that out. It does take me a few tries just to get it right, but in the end I do find out the correct size and then I stick it on to the front. And then the next thing I do is I'm assembling the
the middle portion, again, glued together, and this is what they look together.
So right here, you can see the propeller shafts have been installed, along with the middle deck sides. Those are the laser cut parts that I just installed with the time lapse. And now I'm gonna get ready to paint the whole thing. And you also got the stand right here. Right here, I'm making the gun turrets. You can see there's a lot of shavings. And how I'm doing it is, these are the laser cut parts. And then I just put the barrels in like that. And I add a little bit of super glue just to get the alignment right. Just like that. It's angled up. And then I put some super glue on there. And then that secures the barrel to the main body. See, I made one of the gun turrets and it can rotate, but it's a bit wet right now. My desk usually doesn't get this messy, but sometimes this does happen when I'm building something. Like you got the pre-cal homework right there, then you got the AP physics, then you got a Bismarck under construction here, and I'm cutting out the cardboard. Yeah, I usually clean this up pretty quickly though, so it'd be done soon. So right now I have the cardboard walls for the upper portion of the hull. From the back, the forward part will have an angle, so we'll touch on that later. You know, Bismarck in motion, a beast made of steel, king of the ocean. It's a Battleship lyric. This be the metal from an actual battleship. And you just put it, you're gonna put that on like that and hot glue it. It's the only portion where you do use the cardboard. It's just so that the angles look nicer. And then right here, I'm gonna put that on right there. But that's gonna have a little bit of an angle in there, so we do cut that separately. So now I got the mask done, and now I'm gonna paint the hull gray. You can notice that center part, I didn't paint it because that's where the superstructure is gonna get glued on. I don't want the paint to be on the glue because that will cause the glue to be very weak. Alright, so all that painting is done, and then now we have the camouflage here on the side. I'm playing pressure in the background, don't mind that. Yeah, I'm feeling pressure right now. Yeah, I did do the camouflage. So I need to go back, fight the searchlight. Alright, see ya. Here you can see a bunch of the 5.9-inch gun turrets having a very casual conversation about having to take IFHE, even though they can already pen 32 millimeters. Hey, I think that a captain took IFHE. Oh no, that's not good. Our fire chances have. Oh well, the 105 millimeter guns can't pen 32 millimeters. Oh well, but our fire chance isn't that good anymore. Okay, I actually need to put these on. So right here we have the Arado 196 seaplanes and the 4 little boats right here that we're gonna put right here on the ship. So the ship is almost finished. We have to find a few parts and then we'll be done. Alright, so now we have a completed model for the Bismarck. One thing with the scale, laser cut. Here, the flagpole insignia. The back turrets are able to rotate. This. You have the 105 millimeter guns right there, and then the 37 mils right there. Just cut out the Arado today and just put it on. And we got the little boats, the 150 millimeter 5.9-inch guns right there. Then you have the cranes. Full rigging set is done. You have the little flag, the rangefinder post back there. Then you have the bridge and the anti-aircraft radars. These things. You have the forward conning tower and the radars up there. And you have the turrets Anton and Bruno. They're also able to rotate. Then you have the full camouflage for it. Go to the other side. You also have the propellers down there. Really sweet. So yeah, this is perhaps one of my best models I've ever made. And I think this is very nice. So yeah. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and share this video.